Okay, everybody, let's go ahead and get started on this 2 p.m. PST Twitch stream. No, it's not Twitch. God, why do I keep on saying that? It's not Twitch. It, sorry, it's been kind of burned in my mind for a long time. 2 p.m. YouTube stream. Ah. It just rolls off the tongue. Um, so apologies on that. Yeah, uh, if you guys don't really know, I haven't, I didn't really enjoy, everything that Twitch has been doing lately. Um, um, and they still seem to be making a lot of mistakes. So, um, one thing that I'm seeing right now at this moment in time is the fact that they have a convention coming up in Paris, France. And instead of canceling it because everything that's going on over there, the riots, um, the public there being very upset with the government. Now, I haven't. Now, bear in mind, okay, I'm not fully aware of everything that's been going on there. Okay, I'm not like well versed as to everything that's happening. Okay. Um, I know some details, but not, I haven't like dived down into everything that's been going on there. Okay, so so I'm ignorant on what's been going on there, but but I do know, hey, there's a lot of problems going on, there. Okay, a lot of the public is very upset, and it, is it justifiable? Again, I don't know. Okay, um, it might just be. Okay. But I'm not necessarily going to be picking a side, okay? I need to kind of stay neutral at this particular point in time. If I throw my weight and if I basically say, one way or another, I'm just going to be um, I might be, shooting myself in the foot, um, because I might um, pick the wrong side, okay? I need to be, if you need to be able to look at the news, look at everything that's been going on, look at the facts, and, you know, come to the right kind of decision. Now, there might be, uh, there might not necessarily be a good winner here. Okay, I'm just putting that out there. Okay, um, there might be a problem. Both sides might not necessarily be clean on this. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay. Um, it's like uh, it's like those really good like hero versus villain stories where you can kind of empathize with what the villain kind of went through, and you can kind of understand what they're going through, and you're looking at it and going, yeah, I could kind of see myself on either side of it. Um, like for example, take the one movie, as an example, take the one movie, Civil War, Captain America Civil War. Okay, if you haven't seen that movie, I recommend it. But obviously, you probably want to go through the entire MCU if you haven't. Um, but, in that particular instance, um, on one side, they were basically saying, hey, um, all these heroes are causing a lot of death and destruction because of they're not keeping their power in check, and therefore a lot of innocent civilians are getting hurt because they aren't um, they aren't um, uh, being careful on where they throw their power around, right? The Hulk. was going after bad guys kind of thing, but in so doing, he was like crashing through buildings, which could have been hurting a lot of innocent civilians while doing so. Okay, case in point, right? On the other side of that particular coin, they were basically saying, hey, but if we have someone overlooking us and saying when and where we can go, either one, they could send us to a spot that we really don't need to be at. Um, like there might be a very serious danger on at one particular part of the world, but we can't go there because they're telling us to go elsewhere. So, that's a problem. Or two, the people that are in charge of us could be bad themselves, aka Hydra. So they could be sending, the Avengers off to this one like military base or something like that. That's actually for the good guys. They're doing really great work, humanitarian work and stuff like that. But they could have been told like, oh hey, no, these guys are rebels. They're killing civilians. You got to go and stop them. So so there's always two sides of the coin on some of those things. But sorry, way off track. Um, but I kind of lost my original thought line. Where did this stem from? Um, Paris attacks. Oh, Twitch. Um, Twitch isn't canceling their convention at all. They're saying it's in the other part of the city. It should be fine. Really? You don't say. So if some of your participants decide to, has like a hotel, rented a room because like maybe everybody's going to that particular city, let's face it, there's not that many hotels to handle a very large convention at times. Okay, um, you know, Vegas has conventions all the time, and very large ones. Even all those casinos get filled up with everybody that's visiting there, to the point where some people have to go off strip to um, be able to get to the convention. Okay, so yeah, hotels can fill up fairly quickly in a convention like that, and with you know a riot that's going on, some of those hotels might actually be in that particular riot zone. So what happens to those people, that's wants to be at that convention but can't because maybe the hotel is burned down, you know? It's like Twitch has been Twitch is looking for the money. And their business, of course, they have every right to, but they're not looking out for their, the people that are streaming on their site. I mean, what was it? It was like a convention or two ago where they had that ball pit and all the accidents that happened there. Oh yeah, you can surely blame it on the people that actually hosted the ball pit, but let's face it, Twitch has just as much responsibility because they need to overlook everybody's booth and make sure that it's safe. You know, so Twitch has a responsibility, and they're not caring about it. So, um, just one of the reasons, and just one of the reasons why I'm no longer Twitch streaming. So apologies on that apologies for anybody that's like coming in to these Pega videos and going, "What the heck are you talking about, Jim?" No. I streamed over on Twitch for quite a while, thinking, hey, maybe I can. Well, I mean, I was streaming. I was just having like, you know, a good time kind of thing. I wasn't really looking at it as a, potential business or anything along those lines. I just wanted to have something um, that I scheduled that I can do on a daily basis to kind of keep my head, well, somewhat straight. So, and Twitch was, you know, uh, Twitch has a really good streaming service. Okay, no one can deny that, but um, they have been making a lot of poor choices lately. So, well, I mean, they've been making a lot of poor choices for a while now. So, okay, sorry. Um, we got a challenge to get to. Okay, so first thing that I want to talk about is details about what these Pega videos are all about. Okay, uh, so here's some, these Pega videos are about my um, um, continuous work towards getting the system architect certification. Okay, so I got a ways to go. You know, there's a lot of little details that I keep on missing out. And when I try to take when I took the certification last time, there was a lot of details in there that I didn't really know. So this is my attempt, another, push towards trying to get that certification. Okay. Um, this is not something that is, um, I'm not getting any kind of permission from Pega on doing these kind of streams. I'm not in any like major direct connection with them whatsoever. I'm not being paid by them or anything along those lines. So don't think that's the case. I mean, if they want to contact me and do just some discussions, great. I'll divulge that when that happens. But right at this particular moment in time, that's not happening. So don't think along those lines. Okay. Um, Second thing that I want to mention. Okay. I am not an authorized training partner, and this is not meant to be an instructor-led training. Okay. Like I said, I'm trying to work towards my certification, so I'm just kind of studying and putting it out on video so others can potentially, um, have some extra study material themselves, and maybe potentially have some of my questions answered. I've been putting out some thought lines out there that maybe I'm confused about certain topics, and I'm just looking for answers. Okay. So I mean, if you are an authorized training partner, if you are a veteran of Pega, if you are an instructor for Pega, if you work for Pega, whatever, okay, any of those, and you see that I'm having a question, please feel free to either chat with me right now while I'm streaming, or put it on in the comments, you know, so that I can see them later. And when you're answering my question, you could be answering someone else's question as well. They might have the same exact question. So not only would you be helping me out, but you might be helping someone else out as well. Okay, so I please, if you're watching this, look through my other Pega videos. I have a playlist for them, and maybe if you have time, go through and answer the questions that I might have. Even if it's just something like, hey, you'll find the answers on this particular page or something like that. That will help not only myself, but others as well. Okay, so Don't be afraid to do that. I look forward to those kind of comments. Okay. Um, Now, if someone wants to do the instructor-led training, then go ahead and do so. It does cost, well, in my particular case, a fair amount of money. Um, I think last time I looked, it was like about 5,000 for the system architect certification. Okay, so not exactly cheap. Okay, um, but um, it's like a couple weeks of training, and you have an instructor directly from Pega. So one would assume that you're going to get a decent training. You're going to have all your questions answered. You'll have an expert in Pega that will be able to answer your questions and provide you everything that you need in order to get the certification yourself. Okay. One would assume. I would hope so with the amount of money that you spend for that training. Okay. But be prepared to put in quite a bit of work in order to do so. Okay. I'm just doing self-study. I can't afford doing the instructor-led training. So I'm not going to bother with it right now. Okay, I can't do that. Okay, if a company wants to come along and say, "Hey, Jim, we'll provide that instructor-led training if you can get that Pega certification. We'll hire you as a full-time employee." That'd be great. I'd say yes to that. Um, but uh, let's face it, not everybody would jump at, and not every company would jump at that. Okay. Uh, my last job, you know, we were supposedly trained by an authorized training partner, but he was terrible. He got in trouble, or at least I would hope that he got in trouble with, with the company where I worked, and because he was making mistakes that even his coworkers were like, "What the hell is this guy doing?" Um, and a number of my, uh, uh, you know, probably a good three-fourths of the my particular batch group were pretty much self-study. Um, so because they just could not, he was, like I said, he was a terrible teacher. So, um, the fact that he brought in um, someone else for the second half of the training session. He wasn't even covering it himself there, folks. Okay, just to point out how much there was a problem with it. Okay, so and it wasn't like we didn't focus purely on system architect. Okay, um, he eventually got to he eventually got to a point where they were covering senior system architect as well, thinking, hey, you can easily pass the system architect, so we're going to go on to the senior system architect as well. Instead of, really drilling down as to what, really the system architect was all about. So, so yeah, it wasn't great. Okay. Um, so, we are covering the system architect mission. Okay. And in so doing, we're also covering the business architect because these two missions are the same. Okay, the only difference is that the business architect has these two separate modules that are not covered in the system architect. So once we are done with these two missions, which are coming up really close, we'll do these last two modules for the business architect. So if you're studying for the business architect, that will be uh, available to you so that you can try for the business architect certification. Okay. I'd still recommend that you go back through, study more, if you're maybe go over the quizzes again, just to check to see if there were any wrong answers that you got. And if you got any wrong answers, go back over those sections, okay? Because you're going to need to study those more, okay, when you get there. So just bear that in mind, okay? So we have one more challenge left before we go to the mission exercise and um, mission test at the end. So we're in the logo code app builder extended. And we're doing the creating users and roles challenge here. Okay, tomorrow we'll do the low code app builder extended, which they say is going to take 2 hours. Last time I tried to do a mission exercise, took longer than 2 hours because I was talking and explaining things. So I'm probably not going to do that again because after those 2 hours, it blocks everything off, okay? So it makes it really difficult to finish the exercise in that time frame. So just bear that in mind, okay? So let's go on to the challenge here. Let me initialize, let that prepare. So Google Road provides roadside assistance services through contracted vendors to ensure customer satisfaction and service consistency across vendors. Auditors review common service requests, including unlocked vehicle, tire repair, and battery charge. As the director of vendor management, create a new persona and provide application access for the new auditor. The new auditor persona should access a unique interface. Okay, so we're basically creating a new, auditor persona, and we're creating a new interface. They really should reference the proper keywords here, but whatever. We're gonna move on. Okay. Um, so let me go ahead and copy the password there. Um, the challenge walkthrough is meant to kind of go through all these detailed tasks for you and kind of show you step by step on how to go about through it. Um, if the detailed tasks are exactly how you need to go through those steps, then we won't really need the challenge walkthrough. Use it if you need to, but for the most part, the detailed tasks should be everything that you need. So you shouldn't have to worry too much about it. So just want to point that out. I don't really use it. I think the last time that I used it was actually I think there was like a step missing at one particular point in time. That's when I brought out the challenge walkthrough on uh, one of the previous challenges, but the one that I really was using this on was the last mission exercise. So um, because they were saying, hey, you need to create a persona, you need to create this, you need to create that, and I forgot the exact steps. So challenge walkthrough is kind of helpful along those lines. So, um, but obviously, um, ideally, you'd want to know, all the steps that you need to take in a challenge to handle the exercise without having to worry about doing a walkthrough. Okay, you should be able to, if they're saying, "Hey, I need you to make an auditor persona," then you should be able to go, "Okay, this is where I need to go. This is how I need to go about doing it." Blah blah blah. Okay, so so author Google Road password and in the App Studio navigation pane, click Users, User Management to display the existing personas. Under the Personas tab in the upper right corner, click Add to add a persona. So, wait for this to load. not exactly the fastest, I understand. And then, my previous instructor, he had mentioned that, this kind of a problem is, a problem with our computers. Yeah, no. I mean, don't get me wrong. A bad computer can still have its own issues, could still kind of slow down the process a little bit more because it's still kind of handling all the handling everything that um, there still might be some elements that um, it still might be kind of asking for um, some assistance from your computer in order to load everything up, but he put all the blame on our own personal computers. I'm like, no, you clearly do not know Java very well. Because I'm sorry to say, but Java is not as fast as some of the other languages that are out there. So, you know, if you think Java is the fastest language out there, then you are kidding yourself. You're drinking a Kool-Aid um, that no one should be drinking. Okay, so we need to go to users, user management, and we need to add a new persona. See, we have the CSR, we have manager, and we have a user, all within the user portal. There's one CSR, there's five manager. Should be the other way around. There should be like five CSRs and one manager, but there's one user there. It's like, wait, what? Why is there five manager? What? Oh yeah. Well. All right. So we have we are adding a new persona. In the persona's name, enter auditor, and then we click submit. We don't even we're not even putting in the description. You should you should probably put in a description there, folks. And then of course you can always pick out like a different um, like image here. Now they selected this one for the CSR, this one for a manager, and this one for the user. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick that one for the auditor, just to make things a little bit different. I mean, you can pick the same image there if you wanted to, but um, if you see the um, if you see the image there and you know like which one it is referencing, then you should automatically be able to go, oh yeah, that's the CSR or something like that. Visual representation can help, you know. Um, so, all right, okay. Assign access for the auditor persona. So click the Portals and Pages tab to display the portal and page access for all personas. So Portals and Pages. In the auditor persona, in the default channel list, select auditor to restrict access to only the auditor portal. Okay. Um, okay, so it automatically created it already created a portal for auditor, or it created a channel for auditor automatically when we created um, the auditor persona. So here's my question, because I'm wondering about this right at this moment in time. So you have CSR, manager, and user that are all on user portal, right? What happened to the CSR portal, or CSR default channel, manager default channel, and user default channel? Because wouldn't those also be created automatically? You know, I'm just kind of wondering. So under pages, select all the checkboxes for the auditor persona as shown in the following image to ensure the auditor has access to all available pages. Um, I mean, why? uh, there might be some things here that they might not necessarily need. Like assistance request. Why would they need that particular case type? I don't know. And they're not even showing the administration there or notifications or recently opened items, so that's interesting. Image isn't showing the image isn't exactly the same there, guys. So that's a bit problematic. Um, I mean, I would love to be able to, you know, like click a box like right up at the very top that basically says, hey, mark all these as, you know, mark all of them. I'm surprised that they don't have that. Um, because I mean that is a lot of pages, and if there's even more pages than that, because there might be like, um, there might be like, multiple different case types. There might be multiple different pages to handle. There might be a lot of different personas within the business and stuff like that. It would be a real big pain to have to kind of create a brand new persona and try to go through all the pages. Just saying, you know. Um, so, you know what? I'm gonna, let's see. Let's see. Task 2, step 3. Um, in task 2, step 3, you are instructed um, oh, I missed R. Um, to click all of the page boxes to match the image. However, first thing that I want to mention is that the image isn't showing notification. Join administration. Notifications. Or recently opened items. That I'm seeing currently in Pega. Is that a 8.8 edition? Second thing that I would like to address, individually clicking each box is a waste of time. There are other applications out there where it states click this single box to mark all or something along those lines. Could Pega devs work on trying to set something like that up so when you click a single box, say um, say in the pages row, it will mark all of the pages automatically. It would save a lot of time if you have a ton of pages to choose from. Alright. So that's all done. We click save. There we go. Create a user account for the auditor. Okay, so click the People tab to display the existing users and associated roles. So People. Click Invite people to your application. So we have admin, administrator, author, CSR, manager, user. Okay. Obviously, there's more here apparently. Academy user. Okay. Admin, author, compliance officer, CSR, customer service manager, director manager, territory manager, trial administrator, user. Yikes. Okay. um, Okay, invite people to your application. In the add users to application window in the text box field, enter auditor at Go-Go Road. Um, in the drop-down list on the right, select auditor, click add. So we want auditor, and I'm going to click add. While it's working on that, um, you can send a welcome email to the user by clicking send invitation. Copy the custom generated password in the text file for later use. Okay. So apparently we're going to be probably going into the auditor go road for a little bit later. So I'm going to go ahead and save that password, you know, for later. Close the add users to application window. Okay. Done. So here's the auditor. There's the auditor there. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So now configure the auditor channel to display the channel name. In the App Studio navigation pane, click Channels to display channel interfaces for the current application. So we're clicking the channels. Okay. Click Auditor to edit the custom auditor channel. Click Configuration to display the configuration options. In the channel header list, select application name plus channel name. And then we click Save. Doesn't we don't really want to change anything else apparently, but so we want to do that. Okay. Sure. All right. So confirm your work. In the lower left corner, click the operator ID icon and click log off to sign out of the application. Log into the application with the auditor GoGo Road username and custom generated password. So first we log out. We put the password in. We get the auditor username. And we log in. Now, once again, it might take a little bit of time. When prompted by the application, change the password. Confirm that you are in the auditor portal as shown in the following image. So, change the password. Okay, so first off, let's go ahead and get the current password, which is that one. And then we want to just say, hey, I'm just going to type in blank. And there you go, change password. All right, so we are now on the auditor page here. Okay, looks like it's pretty much the same. Obviously, the image is, slightly different because, I mean, they don't have like a full screen to kind of show it off. So, I mean, it's understandable on that. So, number of cases in the My Work List widget may vary. I mean, there's nothing there anyway. So, yeah. I mean, if you created some things, then it might show up there. But yeah. Then they never stated that, hey, create create a case type or something like that. Go through go through the assistance request, and make, make one or something like that. So, okay. So we're all done there. So we verified the challenge. So that should pop up, completed. There we go. And we're all done there. Okay, so that's, that's how to, do your, uh, that's how to create personas and channels. So, um, again, I will always mention the fact that, um, use the instance that they're giving you to continue, making, making more. Okay. See, we have a new auditor persona here. So maybe, you know, continue, you know, creating some more. Like for example, we saw how the auditor had an automatic auditor channel, right? So let's do something here. Let's say we want a CEO persona that only one user is gonna do. We're only gonna have one user for it, right? So so we go to portals and pages, and interesting, we don't have a default channel here. Why is that? Why did, our auditor persona automatically come with a default channel of auditor already kind of set up? Hmm. Um. So here's the thing. Here's what I'm gonna make the assumption. Okay, I'm gonna make the assumption that the channel of auditor was made prior. Okay, the Pega built the auditor channel in a previous, themselves, so you can just kind of select it, and then you modified it later. Um, I would say that they're kind of, um, this is kind of an unfortunate, um, because it's not reinforcing your understanding of creating the channel again. Now, um, hold on. I want to verify this again because, um, I forget, was there a challenge for creating a channel? Um, Custom business report. No. Configuring a portal. Kind of. Configuring a dashboard. Kind of. But nothing. Nothing really, about. um, nothing really about like, making a channel outright. Here, let me. Um, wait, why am I seeing like nothing completed here? Hmm. Oh wait, it's just, it took me out to the full system architect. That's why I was good. I was like, wait, what's going on here? um, we took a look at configuring the dashboard. All right, so um, here's the creating the channel face interface for the auditor. You know, we've, technically we've already done it, right? But it'd be great if you could kind of combine these two together, you know, or at least, or at the very least, basically say, hey, refer back to configuring a portal um, to review how to build, you know, um, you know, refer back to configuring a portal in order to build the auditor channel that was used in this. Um, so, um, so I'm gonna suggest an edit. Um, um, would suggest saying that the channel for auditor was previously built and was used within this channel and within this challenge. Um, that the challenge on which we built the auditor channel is referenced for example, um, the auditor channel was previously made and the challenge um, oh okay, hold on a second, let me I'm suddenly blanking on the name again. or I'm blanking on the challenge name again. So configuring a portal, that's the one. Uh, Made in a challenge, configuring a portal. Um, so please refer back to that challenge if you wish to um, relearn how to make a channel. I say that because I was thinking, let me create a new persona. Uh, Thinking that maybe a new channel was generated, which wasn't the case. Silly me, but at least I know better now. All right. All right, so that's going to be it for this particular Pega session. So apologies for that, you know, beginning intro rant or discussion. You'll have to kind of forgive me on that. But hopefully you learned a few additional details on this particular run through of this challenge. Like I said, tomorrow we are going to be working on um, on the mission exercise. Again, I'm probably going to have to like really kind of focus down on it because, 2 hours for 9 tasks is it's not an easy, um, it's not easy because, or it, you know, um, they don't they don't handhold you um, in how to go about doing these tasks. So okay, so this mission exercise, um, oh, they don't even have it for the entire mission. They're doing it per task there. So there's 9 tasks that we have to kind of go through, and this is all they give us on this. So we have to go through this and handle, how to handle duplicate cases. Okay. So, um, so just bear that in mind. Okay. We got a bit to go through here for tomorrow. We have 2 hours that they set up here. Okay. So it's not a matter of like, hey, um, it's not like 2 hours that I set. No, it's 2 hours that they set themselves. Okay. As soon as that instance has been up and running, that 2 hours gets set and we start moving. Okay. So I have to be really careful as to my discussions and stuff like that. I can't go on any kind of tangent on that. So, but that's for tomorrow. So look forward to that. So, so uh, I need to get going here for a split second, but I hope you enjoyed the video. Check out the description for social media links as well as other links that I put down there, Stream Team and others. So check that out if you'd like. But that's where we're gonna go ahead and end the video. This particular YouTube video, Pega video, for those of you that are with me for the stream, stay right there. I'm not going anywhere. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording now.